Off Balance is the podcast we bring the light. Dr. Brooks is the host, she's leading the fight. We talk about family, business, and faith. Three things that matter in this world we face. We bring inspiration and guidance too for those who are lost and don't know what to do. Off Balance is the hub for those who pursue the path of righteousness and always stay true. Off Balance.
Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Brooks. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. I am excited because my guests today are the founders of this amazing app called Mowr Technologies, which provides on-demand lawn care services to families throughout the United States. So please welcome to the show, Doug and Gray.
Hi, my name is Gray Taylor. I'm one of the co-founders of Mowr. Currently, I reside in Dallas, Texas. I've been here about 2 years now.
I'm Doug Salazar, co-founder of Mowr. I live in Michigan.
Well, thank you both so much for joining me here today. So you guys have such a cool app, and can you just tell the listening audience about your app and how you guys came up with this genius idea?
So Mowr was created, I was doing home care at the time, and I believe it was 2017 or 18. I had my mom living in a house with me, and my stepdad, he was a quadriplegic. So I was staring out the window when I was with my stepdad, and my mom was cutting the grass. And I said, it would be nice if there was like an Uber for lawn care. And I was doing home care, and also I think I had a dance studio at the time for the kids. And usually when I get ideas, I would call Doug, and vice versa. So I called Doug and asked him, like, yo, what do you think about this idea? And like he said, it sounds good. So I said, you want to be my business partner? And Doug is like, yeah. So we started there. And then the next thing in line was trying to find how to build an app, because we didn't have a background in that. We didn't know where to begin. We didn't have nobody to look up to that did that. So us trying to find somebody to do that was kind of hard. So we were driving to East Lansing, and we'll talk to people in East Lansing. They have Michigan State University. So we would talk to people, ask them about like, how do we build an app? So somebody told us, the route you need to go is, you need to find a developer. So we found a developer eventually. We had a meeting at a place called Bigby out at Michigan State. And as soon as we started talking, the guy started scribbling down so many ideas. Like, he had a lot of energy and was excited about it. And so we kind of looked at each other, was like, yeah, we definitely need to go with him. So we got the app designed, and then next thing he said, well, I don't do developing part. So that was another obstacle right there, was finding a developer. So I was talking to my girlfriend, and she said, my friend, my coworker at my job, he builds apps. And I was like, oh, man. So I called Doug and was like, oh, I found somebody. So we were excited about that. So we had a meeting with him, and he was like, yeah, I can definitely do it. So I think it took us about, 6 months, is it, Doug? About 6 months to get it developed?
Somewhere around there, yeah. Once we got the design all good and ready to go, our developer was able to kind of bring it to life, basically.
Wow, that was actually pretty fast. So by you guys not having that background, at any time were you kind of discouraged, trying to find people to help bring your ideas to fruition?
I would say, yeah. I mean, both Gray and I have been entrepreneurs for a long time. So we we had a few different businesses together. He has his dance studio, and then at the time I had a produce store. And so although we were discouraged, we've been through a lot worse between both of our businesses. So it wasn't as much as a discouragement as much as it was more like frustration, like trying to figure out, all right, what do we do next? And what are we missing, and all that stuff. So I would say with our background, we weren't too much discouraged, but it was just kind of frustrating trying to navigate through, that area that we just weren't familiar with.
Yeah, that's very interesting because this is like such a good idea. Like, I did not know that, you can actually get on an app and hire someone to come and do your lawn care. And so how was this idea perceived when you guys was finally able to launch and get it marketed?
That's the funny part. I think with what we didn't understand at the time is you have to educate the public on like new innovations like this, and the closest thing that we had at the time was like a Uber or a Lyft or something. But now this had to deal with lawn care, so this is like a whole new ball game. So when we initially posted, we're like, Doug, this is about to take off. This is about to be crazy. Like, this is gonna be wild. Like, get ready, man. You're gonna have to quit your job, man. This is it. So when we post, like I remember we did the countdown, and we were like, all right, 3, 2, 1. We posted on Facebook. And so then, like, we're just excited. Like, we're looking at our notifications, waiting for like to see something. 10 minutes go by, nothing. So I was like, maybe it didn't like post correctly or something. So I'm looking at the post. I'm like, it's there. I'm like, Doug, do you see it? He's like, I see it. So I'm like, all right, everybody should see it. So then, like 20 minutes go by, we get like a like, and then somebody said like, oh, congratulations. So we're like, hold on. Like, do they not understand the magnitude of what we just did? Like, this is an app. Like, this is like we like people that want supposed to be making apps made an app, and it's for lawn care. And you guys have lawns, so why ain't nobody talking about it? So after a while, we started to get like yo, like we started talking to each other like yo, like was it bad timing? Was it algorithm or like people like what's going on? So finally somebody's like wrote on the stats like, yo, this is so big, this is crazy. Like this is like for our city, like being from Lansing, Michigan, like prior to that I don't remember, anybody like really pushing apps like that. So I was like, man, like what's going on? So like he kind of hyped this up. He was like, this is big, whatever. So I was like, okay, this is about to do numbers. Still, nobody like talked about it. Like the newspaper didn't pick it up. Like nobody really talked about it. So we were kind of like scratching our heads, like, yo, what happened? So I would say that right there, like you go through so many emotions, thinking like, man, we put so much time, so much effort, so much of our own money. Like there was no loans, there was nothing. This is money that we could have put back into our family and our in our homes, but we wanted to do something great with this. So it was tough with the initial launch, and then like what we found out too is like you have to like really educate people on what this is and how it can be of service to them. And that was what we tried to work on, and we finally started getting like people in the app. I remember one of our first customers was I was also, I mean, we did so many jobs. Uh, we were doing gig work too. So I had a guy I was driving for Uber, and I told him about the app, and he said, "I'm gonna download it right now," and I was so excited. So he downloaded the app, and I dropped him off at his home. And then next thing, like in the morning, he's like, "We got a job." I was like, "Oh!" And this is our very first job, and we've launched probably. I know we probably launched like a week since. So, but the thing is, our app is two-sided. It needs a customer and a partner to sign up in order to do the job. But we didn't have any partners, so I had to throw on a vest, get a lawnmower, and go out there and do the best I could. I'm not the best lawn care provider, but I soon found out that it's that's not my line of work right there. So it was tough. Like when we
In. So my question would also be, what made you guys go with an app instead of doing it more like a website where people can go on and get like recommendations or kind of link up with one another?
I would say I don't think we actually thought about it, right? Because I think the initial idea was let's make an app, right? Like I don't think that was like our goal from the beginning. I think eventually, like as the business is growing, that's one thing that we're looking at doing is making it making a website so people can, that aren't super tech savvy and don't know how to use apps and stuff like that, they can go, on the website and do it. But initially, the idea was let's make an app. Like that was the ultimate goal, right? Because like Grace said, you had Uber out there, you had DoorDash. The convenience of having the app right on your phone and being able to request a job with a click of a button was the ultimate goal. We because I think that's where everything's moving towards, right? The convenience. Everyone's like nobody wants to do their own. Nobody wants. I guess I can't say nobody, but a lot of folks are more towards the convenience of everything, getting food delivered to them, groceries delivered to them. You know, not having to drive anywhere. That's where our world is going, really. And so we wanted to create that that same version with lawn care, right? And that's what we did.
Yeah, I'm like really fascinated by the idea because I don't think you guys are probably the only company that actually offers a service to where you can go into an app and you can actually book for someone to come and do your lawn care. So that's great. So you said it was two sides to the app. You said one side is for the customers and then the other side is for partners. So if someone wanted to partner, like how does that work?
So they just sign up through they download the Mowr partner app and they sign up. So similar to like a DoorDash driver or Uber driver, we have our Mowr partners, right? So individuals can it can be an individual or it can be someone that does landscaping as their full-time job, and they can pick up jobs within the app to kind of supplement their own yards they have. So it provides it provides a platform for individuals to make extra money, which is a big thing for us as well, right? Especially for us being, from where we came from when we had our own businesses, we were doing gig work ourselves to kind of help supplement our business. Like we were door dashing, we were Uber driving to help, keep our businesses afloat. And so that was a big thing for us is, providing that extra, stream of revenue for individuals that want to make extra money. So, but yeah, so it's super simple. They download the More Partner app, they sign up, they go through approval process on the back end with our admin side, and then they're able to pick up jobs in their area.
Are you ready to take your personal or professional growth to the next level? Introducing my tailored coaching experience, a personalized journey designed to help you achieve your goals and unlock your full potential. With 3 in-depth 90-minute coaching calls, we'll work together to create a customized plan tailored specifically to your unique needs and aspirations. Whether you're navigating a career transition, launching a business, or seeking clarity in your personal life, this program is designed to guide you towards success. With actionable strategies and unwavering support every step of the way, you'll receive a coaching roadmap, a personalized step-by-step plan to keep you focused and aligned with your goals. Take the first step toward your transformation by visiting brooksdeming.com.
That is so genius. Like, I am sitting here like, wow, that is so good because that allows you to actually run this business and not have to actually go out and do the work yourself. So the idea of partner, yeah, that was real genius.
We provide the platform for people to be able to make that extra money.
That is really good. And I also like the fact, so when they download the app and they, hire someone, it's like they don't have to do a contract or anything, right? So they can just choose to say, hey, I want to use you guys this month, but maybe not next month. So I also think that that's another perk for using the app.
Yeah, it's a convenience of it, right? You don't have to go through, you don't have to call multiple contractors or landscapers and get quotes and prices and go back and forth with people. You once you create your account and you add your address and you map out your yard, the price is there, so you know what you're going to pay every single time. We developed with our new Mower 2.0 we launched last year, April or May of last year. We added a tier system. So it's a quick mow, mower plus, or mower pro. And so quick mow is just individuals who just want a quick mow. They don't want to get fined next week, so they just need a quick mow. And then mower plus, there's a few more add-ons to it. And then Mower Pro is, basically, your edging, your weed whacking, your blowing, all that good stuff. So we added that tier model to kind of meet the requirements of like different individuals that want different types of mowing. And we also do leaf removal, leaf pickup, and then we do snow removal as well in the app too. So those are added functions of the app as well.
That is so cool. And I know, like, for me, I live in a subdivision that has an HOA. So if someone came to cut my lawn, then they would definitely have to edge and they would have to do all of the extra just so that I could be in compliance. And so that 2.0 is actually a really good idea, because you have some people, they don't care about edging. They just want the grass and then you have some people, you have some people that's like, no, I need it edged. I need the shaping blown away and all of that stuff. So I think that's
Exactly. They just want it low.
and so with this app, I'm actually downloading it now. With this app, are you guys located just wherever you have partners, or is the app limited to a certain area?
So it's in the App Store for anyone to download. And then as on the back end, as we see downloads, we market to those areas that we see we have downloads in. So there are areas that, if someone were to download, we may not have a partner in that area, but then we work pretty hard to start getting partners signing up in the app in that area with our marketing team.
Okay, that's good. So it's very advantageous for you guys to make sure that you are known, so that people can know, hey, this is something that's available. And as long as, your region is, showing interest, then it's a possibility that you guys can offer it in that area. So that's really smart marketing. Yeah, that is really good marketing. And so what is on the horizon for your company? Like, do you guys plan on doing any type? Yeah. So, do you plan on doing like any type of expansions, going into different areas, or would you simply stick with the lawn care?
Now it's really taking that next level, taking it to the next level. So right now the app is in really a good standing with Mowr 2.0 and what we've been able to do. We have some different ideas that we're looking at implementing that we're working on now with our development team that'll hopefully be out towards the end of this year, maybe early next year. But for us, really right now is just really trying to take that next level with investors. And because like as Grace stated before, everything we've done is like really out of our own pocket. Like, we don't have any investors, we don't have much. We worked with like a couple of different local organizations that gave us like small little grants, but nothing like to the point that's going to help us get to that next level, right? Because from a marketing perspective, it takes a lot of money to get something like this out there and get people using it on a regular basis, right? So everything we've done, is strictly, just us, and so we brought, we hired a marketing specialist to kind of help us, navigate through that area, because that's something that we're not super familiar with. We've done it, but we also feel like we're kind of wasting some of, the little bit of money we do have by not really understanding, marketing, like someone that, went to school for it and that's all they do. So, we brought on a marketing specialist to help with that. But, when it comes to marketing, it takes a lot of money to really push something that's new and that's not really known. So that's kind of our next step, is trying to bring on investors to get to that next level. We've been, working on our pitch deck. We've been pitching. We have a few things lined up as far as pitch events that we're looking at doing, just to, get our name out there a little bit more. But yeah, that's really our next step, is trying to bring some investors on so that way we can, get the money we need to take this thing to the next level.
That is actually really good. And so when you do your pitch ideas, would they be able to find that information on your website, or how would you get that information out to the public that you guys are pitching to get people to partner with your company?
A lot of social media is really what, like when we do podcasts, we'll post that on our social media. We've done a few different interviews to really to get the word out in that sense. And then as far as pitching, we've never really posted that we pitch. Like we'll make a status like here and there, like if we do anything. Like I was on a kind of like a panel of entrepreneurs. It was like early last year, I think. And so we posted that, and we posted the video to that, a few snapshots and whatnot. But nothing like public about investing.
So if someone was interested in investing, would they get like a percentage of the company? Like what would be a perk for a person to invest? Like what would be beneficial to them?
I guess it would depend. I mean, you got some investors that want a percentage in the company, long term, right? And then you got some that they just want to return on their investment. Whether it's 2x, 3x, 5x, depending on what they're looking for. So it all just depends on the investor. Some we've talked to, they're interested in, they want 5, 10, 15, 20% for so much money, because they see something, they see the benefit of it, and they want to be, they want to be in it long term. Whereas you got some that may want to invest, 50,000, and they just want to return on their investment, 3x or 5x or whatever. So it just depends on the investor, and it just depends on what's right for us, right? And so it just depends on that.
Like really, really proud of you guys, because just to take an idea from a personal situation and then to be able to see it come to pass, you guys should be really proud of yourself, because getting an app developed and actually being able to, articulate to people, this is what I see happening, and then for it to come to pass, like I said, that's a kudos. That's like so big.
That's one thing we talk about. Like we had this conversation a couple months ago where like it's almost like we don't really give ourselves enough credit sometimes. Like we actually have an app and we're making, we got jobs out there and we're bringing in revenue, and, we're not where we want to be, but it's like, sometimes it's important to take that step back and realize what you've accomplished so far. And I think, that's an important message for a lot of entrepreneurs out there is, especially if you got like a working product, right? Like that's half the battle, is getting a working product, right? And then, for us to, we've done jobs in, I think, like 18 different states. We got revenue coming in, and this year alone, I think we've tripled our revenue from our first year. So it's it's like, it's good to hear things like that from other people, but just kind of like for our own, personal sake, just taking a step back and, kind of patting ourselves on the back, like we actually are doing pretty good. We definitely want to be, probably at a further state right now, but I mean, entrepreneur life is super hard. It's difficult. It's draining, but yeah, so definitely appreciate the confidence though.
The fact that you were able to do it and it's thriving, that's really, really good. And so if both of you, I'll start with you, Douglas, if you had to give entrepreneurs that are listening some advice and encouragement, what would you say to them?
I would say, for me, you know, I guess early on, entrepreneurs, like if you have an idea and you're scared to take that leap, I would say just do it. And I've told this story before. Like when I opened my produce store, before I opened it, we had an idea. I talked to Gray about it a lot, and I was scared to open. I was scared to quit my job and take that leap. And I had a lot of conversations with Gray, and he had just opened his studio about a year before that, and he was like, "Just do it, just do it." Like, it, what's the worst that can happen? Like you'll set yourself back a little bit, but you'll bounce back, right? Like you'll do whatever you have to do to to keep that business going or to provide for your family. And so after a couple conversations with him, it's like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. And so I quit my job, and we put the business plan together and got the store going. But I would say just take that leap. Like it's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult, but you're going to regret it down the road if you don't take that leap and try it. So I would say that's probably my advice, is especially early on entrepreneurs, like if you got an idea and it's something that you're really passionate about, just do it, and take that leap of faith and trust yourself, and yeah, and see where it goes. The worst that can happen is you fail at it, you learn, and you move on and keep going.
That's really good advice, because I think some people don't even bet on themselves because they're afraid of failing, not realizing that that's where we get our best lessons. If something doesn't work out, we just go back to the drawing board and see how we can, change our strategies to approach it again. So that's good advice. Oh, okay, Mr. Gray, what advice would you give to entrepreneurs that are listening?
Um, I was gonna say something similar to what Doug did. He kind of hit it on the nose, but I could give a ton of advice, but what I like to do is I kind of like to burn bridges, so there's no turning back. Like, this is what I'm doing. So sometimes we have to shake that job security away. We have to actually just like we just have to go do it, because when your next meal, your next whatever is dependent on how hard you work. And it puts you in a hunger mode, where you feel like I have to make this happen. And for us, like, having to jump out of our norm and find these people and learn the business, and go and talk in front of like a lot of people, and you know it you have to get out your comfort zone. You just have to get out your comfort zone, and that will help elevate you to the next level.
Listen, Grace said you have to be all in. He like you have to burn the bridges. You have to be all in. And sometimes that's what it takes, because if you have that cushion to know that you have something else to fall back on, or if you know that you have another place to return to, sometimes you won't put in all your effort. So that's actually really good advice. So if you have a person that's listening and they have an idea for an app, can you kind of give them some type of education when it comes to how do you protect your idea? Because someone could have really like legit stole your idea and marketed it first, or went with it first. So how did you guys protect your idea?
So you have to I would say this: when you have an idea, and we've like this, like we bumped ahead, and this, please listen to this, because we didn't have anybody to model what we're trying to do after, and nobody to give us this information. But if you have an idea, some of the first things you do, outside you already written it down, you want to protect it now. Grab your domain name before you register your business name, because it's a business of people looking to see who registered new business names and getting that domain name. They'll get the .com, the .net, this .co. And we found that out as soon as we registered for our name. We didn't get the domain name. Somebody messages us and say, "Hey, I'll sell you Mowr.com for $50,000." So make sure you, yeah. So make sure you do that. Also, trademark your name, and have written evidence that you've been working on this business or doing this business for X amount of time. Because people will fight you over it. They'll challenge it, and if somebody already had that business, they can kind of take claim to it, and then you'll have to change your name. So just make sure, like, you do those things. I would say some of those things first, before you actually like put your business really put your business out there.
That's really good advice, because I don't think people realize that it's cutthroat, and a lot of people are looking to come up, and if they can try to get you to purchase back something that you have registered or started, then they would definitely do that. So that is really, really good advice. So if people wanted to follow you guys, reach out to you guys, how can they do that?
It should be more. So if you guys want to, I mean, make sure you follow us. Go to Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and it should be Mowr Technologies or Mowr Tech on all the platforms. And like I said, uh, yeah, and download the app. Right? Make sure you download the app, and share, talk about it, tell your friends. Let's blow this up.
That is really good. And so I will have their information on my website, as well as when I post this on all of the platforms. Their information will be in the bio. So make sure you support these brothers. They are doing such an amazing job. I know. So again, thank you guys so much for joining me. And all of their information will be on my website. Do you guys have any final thoughts that you would like to share with the listeners?
A final thought. Hey, we're gonna have some new features going on, and one of them is advertisement. So you'll be able to advertise with us in these upcoming months. So be on the lookout for that. And we want to make sure we showcase your business within our app. So make sure you check that out.
Yeah, I would say I'd just mirror that. Yeah, definitely. Download the app, and like Greg said, share it. It's an app for everybody, right? It could be you're on vacation and you want someone to mow your yard while you're on vacation. It's a simple few steps. If you want someone to go mow your grandparents' yard because they're not able to, there's plenty of different ways you can utilize the app, and so we feel like it's for mostly everybody. And then obviously I appreciate you, Brooke, for having us on. Definitely appreciate the invite.
No, thank you guys for coming. So listen, I need everyone to download this app because this app is definitely good for you guys that like to travel down south for the winter. You can still get your snow taken care of so it won't defrost and flood you out. So they do that. And so for those of you that are pregnant and it's hot, you don't want to mow, contact them for that. For those of you that have any type of disabilities and you just can't do it, contact them. So this app is for everybody. So again, Gray and Douglas, thank you guys so much for joining me. I will have all of their information on my website.
This episode is sponsored by Deming Performance Management Solutions, providing the solution to your performance management problems. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to rate this episode. To learn more about your host, visit www.brooksdeming.com.
Hi, I'm Tiffany of Tiffany Brown Designs. With over 20 years of creative experience across industries, I create and elevate brands one design at a time through intentional graphic and brand design, polished film and video editing, and creative artistry. Even the music you're hearing right now, that was produced by me. I also create custom tracks for websites, intros and outros, and content. So what are you waiting for? Visit TiffanyCBrownGD.com and let's bring your vision to life.